This is TJ Welch from the Welch Boys and TJ Welch and the Wasted, and we are fortunate to be opening up a show coming up here on September 29th at Sammy's Patio in Revere Beach, and we're going to be opening up for the mighty Supersuckers, which is a legendary band out of Seattle, originally from Arizona, but they moved to Seattle. And I have the pleasure of talking to the leader of the band and longtime founding member, Eddie Spaghetti here. Say hi to everyone, Eddie.
Yo, yo, yo. How you doing, TJ?
Oh, excellent. I'm doing great. I'm really excited to play with you guys. I've always been a fan of your music, and I just think it's great that you've been around for so long, have had such persistence, and just get better over the years.
I agree.
How do you do it? How do you keep it all together? I mean, it's been since, what, the late 80s?
Yeah, I started this little band in 1988.
Wow.
It's weird because, like, I never really felt like I was an old fart, rocking, but now I totally am. All of a sudden, you become a relic before you know it. And, the way we do things, I guess, is a little antiquated now compared to how kids are doing it. But it's, we make rock and roll music. That's what we've always done. And I think we do it the right way.
I would certainly say so. It's no bullshit rock and roll with influence from country and punk as well, and it really hits the mark. Lyrically, the stuff is very interesting and sometimes quite hilarious. How do you typically write a song? I mean, you've got some real interesting song titles. Born with a Tail, which is perhaps one of your more popular songs. How did that one come about?
Well, most of these songs for me, they start with the lyrics, oddly enough. I get like a little lyrical idea. Like, I think with Born with a Tail, I came up with the rhyme for Satan and debating. It was how that song kind of was born. And, I don't really know where they come from. It's sort of like, it's the closest thing to like magic or some sort of spiritual thing that I've ever come across. I'm not a big religious guy. I don't go to church or any of that sort of thing, but the songs that come out of me and have always been a part of my life, you just have no explanation for where they come from. It's truly the closest thing to magic that there is.
Yeah, I will agree with you. I mean, you pull stuff out of the air. What was nothing becomes something, takes on a life. That's a song, and
yeah,
you've written plenty of them. You certainly have the ability to write some cool stuff.
Well, thanks for noticing. So few people do. I feel like what I do for whatever reason is just not for everybody, and I'm okay with that, But it's not like I'm trying to be some sort of marginal fringe artist. It's just that appears to be the kind of music I make. It's for people that have really listened to a lot of rock and roll music, and they've definitely put in their 10,000 hours, with their record collection or whatever, and they finally get to the Supersuckers, the little pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
It certainly is. I mean, you're a little bit under the radar, but don't be so humble, Eddie. I mean, you've recorded with Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam, who just played Fenway Park there the other night. And Steve Earle is another artist who's been involved with you. And, of course, Willie Nelson. Can you share any memories about any of that?
Oh, for sure. I mean, Eddie Vedder was a fantastic fella, and we don't really know much about Pearl Jam. That's not really a band that's in our wheelhouse per se, but man, what a great guy and so friendly. And he is a killer ping pong player. I'm pretty good at ping pong for a guy that's never been to rehab, but Eddie Vedder is really good at it. He's a little better than I am, and it was irritating.
Yeah, I guess you have to spend a lot of time in rehab to hone skills like that, because sometimes that's all you got is the ping pong table. It's
right.
Similar to prison, right?
Exactly. It's like going to prison and not coming out muscular.
Yeah, exactly. So that's exciting. How about Willie Nelson? I mean, God, that guy, he's been around forever and a day. How did you work with him? You played Farm Aid? You met him there? What happened there?
Well, we met him through a friend of ours who wound up producing our country record in '97. We met Willie in '95 because we had started a relationship with this guy who wound up producing that country record. And he brought Willie into the studio, and we recorded a version of Bloody Mary Morning with him. And that led to us being on the Tonight Show with Willie Nelson, and just, the start of a great relationship. And that Tonight Show gig that we did with Willie Nelson, you can YouTube that up. It's pretty awesome. And the story of that is hilarious. We showed up to do the sound check at the Tonight Show, and it just went horribly. We could not get in sync with Willie. It was like he was messing with us on purpose. And I had told myself, whatever you do, don't smoke pot with Willie Nelson. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah. And he took off his guitar and he says, Eddie, let's go burn one. I'm like, okay. It took me less than a second to go back on everything I told myself. So I'm on the bus with Willie, and we're doing all that. And then they knock on the door and they're like, it's time. And I was like, I had completely forgotten what we were there to do. And I was like, oh, crap. Now's the part where we go and butcher his song in front of millions of people. And we went out and we nailed it. It was incredible.
You get to play in Austin much? That's Willie's town, right? Austin, Texas?
Yeah, we play in Austin. Our drummer lives in Austin, so we're there quite a bit.
Good. That's that is really where the country rock really originated, and it must be a great to play there in front of the guys there.
It's a great town. It's sort of like it's a second hometown for us. It always has been.
Yeah, and you're originally from Tucson, Arizona, is it?
Yep.
Yeah, and sometime in the late '80s, you decided right before the grunge wave and the Seattle wave hit to go up to Seattle. I read a quote somewhere: "So you can wear your leather jackets in the winter."
Yeah, in the summer.
Yeah, in the summer rather. Yeah, and they were pretty receptive to you. You got signed by Sub Pop and made some great early albums, which are a little more punky. But as you progressed, you got more into maybe the outlaw country or the roots music, and you got signed to a big deal on Interscope, right?
Yeah, we did.
And then the timing on that was probably pretty bad, right?
It was. If you didn't sound like Limp Bizkit at the end of the '90s, you weren't going to go anywhere.
Yeah, I hear you there. And that whole sound came and went, but the sound of the Supersuckers remains. It's
exactly. We've always been a timeless entity, and kind of done our own thing, and that's been to the detriment of our debit cards, but to the benefit of our artistic integrity.
Good. We like to hear that, and we're happy as hell to be playing with you. We've got some good bands supporting you on Sunday, September 29th at Sammy's Patio on Revere Beach. It's an 18-plus show. The show starts at 7 p.m., so it's got a nice early start to it. So for those who got to work Monday, most of us actually, it should wrap up early, but we expect to get a good, nice, hard-hitting long set from the Supersuckers. Are you guys a trio now? And can you talk about the other band members?
Yeah, we're a trio. I finally got guys in the band that always should have been in the band. When I started the band, I wasn't really concerned about guys who could really play their instruments that well, or I wasn't really thinking about that. I just wanted guys that I liked to hang out with. So I started the band with some buddies, and I just figured I'll write really good songs and we'll replacements our way through it. We'll work through our limitations, and the gold will be seen anyway because the songs will be so good. And that worked for a while, but then personalities being what they are, people drift off and lose the hunger for the vision or whatever it is, and that's understandable. And now I've got guys, Marty, the guitar player, and Chris, the drummer, who are not only professionals in every sense of the word, but also great guys that I love dearly, and they're my best friends.
That's good. That's good to hear. And it takes a strong friendship to be able to jump into a van and play across the country. And
right, it's not easy.
We're happy that you're doing it and coming to Boston, the Boston area. You got some good support bands. The Downhauls are awesome band. Local band. Also, a brand new band called Speed Teeth are playing, and my band I have with my son, TJ Welch and the Wasted, and we're just excited to play with you. If you need to be backlined, we have Marshall amps and nice drum kit. I'll work that out with Stu. Well, let's talk about Stu. Stu is promoting the show. How you go back with him? How did you come across Stu?
I don't even know. I've just known him for a long time. It's just one of those people that you meet on the road at some point. You don't really know when it was, or all of a sudden you got a buddy out there.
All right. He does a fine job of his promotion company is called Platorum, and he does a fine job of setting up shows with bands that he likes. He'll work with a band if he likes them, and he set up the show on September 29th at Sammy's Patio. Hopefully we can get a good, I know we're going to get a good crowd there, and this is going to be a blast.
Cool.
I also wanted to ask you, Eddie, you're a cancer survivor, and you had a diagnosis back 2015.
Yeah.
You just keep going. I mean, how did you feel when that happened? It was the type of cancer that affects your throat. What were your feelings at the time?
It was devastating. When you first find out you have the cancer, you don't really know where it started. You don't know anything about it. That was the scariest time, when I didn't know the nature of it or where it was. Your head goes to every possibility. But then when it was diagnosed, it was also a problem because it was my throat, and that's, I make my living singing. And so it was actually Eddie Vedder who steered me towards the cancer center that I wound up at. And he really helped me make an educated decision about where I went, and with protecting my voice in mind the whole time. And I don't know that I would have been that diligent about it had he not stepped forward.
Well, nothing is.
Sorry,
your dog has a hell of a voice too. What do you got for dog? I'm just curious. What type of breed you got?
This is the one that's barking is an Aussie Shepherd mix, and she's blind, so she just barks at the walls for no reason periodically. Yeah. And then we've got another mutt, and then we have a Malinois as well. He's a handful.
Wow, 3 dogs. So that's a full house, I would say. What's life like outside of the band for you? Where's your primary residence? Are you out in the Seattle area?
No, I live in San Diego now.
San Diego. Beautiful, beautiful.
3 kids, 3 dogs, the whole thing.
All right. Yeah, I've got 3 kids too, and that'll fill up your time, right?
Indeed, it does.
Yeah, you ought to draft one of your kids into playing in your band sometime,
Well, that's probably he would like that.
Yeah.
I have a 23-year-old who's he's fully into making music. It's music that I don't listen to or understand, but it's cool that he's doing it.
Yeah, that's always the way it is. No matter how cool your music is, they've got to find their own identity, and God bless them for it.
Yeah, that's the true and correct nature of things. Your kids are supposed to listen to music that you don't like or understand.
Yeah, it's just part of life.
Yep.
Yeah. Now you're from Arizona. Have you been influenced by other Arizona bands? I don't think like the Meat Puppets or Sun City Girls. Is that where you caught the country influence growing up in that state?
It must have been. I mean, I listened to country music. It was always on the radio, but I never actively liked it or pursued it until I started making up songs myself, and I saw how similar country songs are to my favorite punk rock songs, like how much Hank Williams has in common with the Ramones, for example. All those songs kind of sound the same, but they're all awesome. They're amazing. So, I put that together right away and just started listening to it for, the way the chords and the words go together. The words in country music are so much more important than they are in rock and roll music usually. And I identified with that.
That's nice. And you continue to write quality stuff. Let's talk about your latest release. What's the name of your last album?
Play That Rock and Roll. It's been a minute now. We just finished making a new record that is in the process of being mixed right now. So we haven't been dormant, but it's taken a long time to get this record out for some reason.
And when it comes out, what label do you think it'll be on, or how are you going to get it out to the world?
I think it's going to be on this label called Hard Charger, which is something that my friend Jesse Dayton has kind of started up.
That's great. We're all looking forward to some new material from you. And I am personally really looking forward to opening up for you. I know you traveled thousands of miles to get here to Boston, and September 29th at Sammy's Patio, we're going to friggin' tear the place down with you. We're really excited to play with you.
We're going to bring it.
Yeah, bring on the rock, man. Eddie, thank you very much for your time today and allowing me to interview you. And I look forward to meet you in person on the 29th of September.
Right on, TJ. Thanks for helping us spread the word. I really appreciate it.
You got it. Have a good day now.
All right, we'll see you soon.
Yep, bye-bye.